Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday, 1 o'clock, 101. Welcome back to your farming accountability class here this Thursday at Beggins Enterprises upstairs, Apollo Beach Training Room. All right. Who is our next agent coming down the pipeline? It's Tenley. Tenley, tell us about what you did this week. Up on stage next is Molly. Woo! Molly received some text messages from some people saying they had personal and private information of her and caught her on her webcam and have information they're going to release to all of her friends and family if she doesn't send money to them ASAP. I personally, just for everybody in the room, just as a quick reminder, there is a lot of text message scamming going on. I literally just got a message from Brian D. Apparently, Brian D is in an urgent meeting right now. Is it this one? Is Brian D on this meeting right now? There he is. Brian D is on this meeting. Brian, you are in an urgent meeting right now. Can't talk on the phone, but let me know if I got your text. So I told him, it sounds really important. My goodness, are you okay? And he says, yeah, I'm in a business meeting. I need you to run a task for me ASAP. Will you be available to do it? Absolutely. Anything. Are you sure you're okay? I'm in a business meeting now with some clients. They need a house around Key West. I need you to get something at the store right now, please. Brian, you better not be scamming me. I see you online here. This sounds a little fishy. All right. So just so you know, there is a lot of that still going on every single week. It is constant. If you have any messages that you get from anyone here that asks you, that says, I can't talk, I'm in a meeting, yet it's BS. If please feel free to send me anything you want, but it's not going to be any major like news press release for it. Now, if you want any pictures of Molly, you can ask her for them. Apparently, they're about to send them out. That's funny. All right, so last week, somebody tell me, I don't care who it is online in the room, chat it in, unmute yourself. Tell me, what were we going to do from last week to this week? What is our accountability that you had to do? Remind. And what? Mailers and calls and videos and give me some chats. So lists, mailers, gathering your farm information, getting acclimated to an area. Correct. What this is, we're going to have some actions for you to do, but really what I want to do is answer questions. I've answered quite a few throughout this week up until today, so I want to answer some questions right now, and I want some accountability feedback from you for those of you that have done it, had questions, and had any issues. So anybody at all, tell me, Jen. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Send some mailers. She's got a whole stack of CMAs over here. She's going to do some door knocking material as well. Excellent. Thank you. Anybody else, please chat in. Tell me what you got. Unmute yourself and share. Please feel free to. Just so you know, get my attention so we can share. I want everybody to know that. Well, first of all, who did what they were supposed to do? You don't sound so sure of yourself. Now look, all of this is not going to be specifically for everyone. What I'm asking you to do is, if you do every single one of these things, high five, claps all around. You guys did awesome. If you did 5 out of 6 of them, high fives, claps all around. You're awesome.
Honey,
if you did 4 out of 6, just a high five.
How much money you paid every single year for 20-something years for that insurance company?
Insurance company. That sounds interesting. So, yes. So did somebody have any comments? Please unmute yourself and get my attention before you do. I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. It sounded like somebody was talking. But so if you do all of them, you will have a better opportunity. This is accountability. If you were I was talking to somebody who did some of them, but all she was focused on doing in her farm was printing out CMAs. So she basically broke the farm up into 1,500 square foot homes, 1,700 square foot homes, 2,000 square foot homes, 2,400 square foot homes. And she focused on the 1,500 square foot homes first. Basically found, here's all the homes that are approximately 1,400 to 1,600 square feet. Did a CMA that would basically work for all of them. So she could just mass print all of those CMAs and a letter to go with it, and went and dropped them off to all of the homes that were 1,500 square foot. How will you find the homes that are 1,500 square foot or between 14 and 1,600 square foot? Remine. Take your farm sheet and then go into square footage. In Remine, you can narrow down square footage. All homes between 14 and 1,600 square foot. You don't have to create a cart. You can select them all and print that. And now you have a sheet. You have addresses in a sheet to go deliver them. So I'm giving you specific things that you can do every single week. So if you don't know what to do these. But if you want to take it and tweak it and make it your own, please do. I know 2 ladies in the room right now that send out tons of mailers already. They sent the mailers out like basically the day after because it was already on their schedule, and then added another neighborhood and then started knocking on doors. So this is meant to give you action items to take action on. Set up a hot sheet, created carts, and worked on a toolkit. Awesome. Thank you. So make sure I'm not missing anything. Make sure I didn't miss another message from Brian. I need you to get me a card called Sephora cards at any nearby store right now. I'll reimburse you the amount of. So Brian, you need Sephora makeup cards for your clients buying a home in Key West. That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to share the screen. We're going to jump on here. So please, any questions now? Did anybody have issues with Remine? Talk to me. Okay. To Rocket Print and Mail? It wouldn't integrate? Okay. Okay. So Remine, for those of you who didn't hear, Remine is having some issues with their connection to Rocket Print and Mail and creating mailers. So bear with them. They're working on that. Still getting used to Remine. You need to use it more. What I did for a while is I just went and grabbed Remine and started playing in Remine a lot. So I just got in there all the time and started playing around with it, checking out, applying things, undoing things, creating a cart, undoing a cart, deleting carts. Just started playing with it to get used to it. So that's what I started to do in there. Okay, so mailers having some issues there. That's fine. I understand that. Anybody else, any issues with gathering the information that we asked you to do? So please speak up now. Let me know any issues. Creating the... Okay, what was the issue? What was the concern you were having? Okay. Okay, so the carts, we're creating the carts so that you have a list of specific types of properties. One of them is your entire farm. Another one is a zero or a narrowed down section of the farm that has sellers that specifically have equity or only own it absentee. And now what I asked you to do is to start just send a mailer to your entire farm first. So basically, if you're not going to mail to your farm, knock on their doors. If you're not going to knock on their doors, find phone numbers and call. If you're not going to do that, go drop off a flyer on it. So getting in connection with them, that's one of the actions there, okay? So we went through all of these things here. Week 1 is use a Remine cart for your entire neighborhood, send a mailer to the entire neighborhood. If you're not going to do the mailer, go knock on their doors. If you're not going to knock on their doors, drop off a flyer, get something to them. Begin making calls. Just listed, just sold type calls. So for the right price, would you consider selling your home type calls? I'm stuck on drawing the polygon and IMAP, totally different from MLS, but I will get it figured out. Okay, so Remine, just really quickly, if you need to draw a polygon in an area, you're going to pull up your map, and whatever area you're going to draw a polygon around, zoom into it, and then choose the polygon, and all you do is click and drag until you complete a map around until you create a map around it. It's very, very simple. Don't make it any more difficult. Now, IMAP and Stellar, same thing. I mean, it's the exact same thing. You go to map search and you can draw a map around it. It'll be the same thing. But I understand sometimes it can be a pain. So right now, Remine, we have everything created. We have all of our action plans. What I want you to focus on this week, I'm going to give you two things to focus on, or 2 options to really focus on. Absentee owners and getting some CMAs, to them. So what I want you to do is to get a CMA market analysis letter, presentation type package, whatever you plan to use. You can do it in Remine. So if we go to my cart and I go to my Panther Trace equity and ownership absentee owners, I have my absentee owners here. This was the entire thing. So I just grabbed the entire neighborhood. So let's just say I've got my absentee owners here. You can select them all, or you can go straight down the list. What you want to do is you want to select them all and export it out. But you're going to get CMAs to them, and then we'll be following up with a phone call after that. But here's the associated people. If there's a phone number there, that's what we're going to be using. Damn things keep getting in the way. I keep got to move them. But for you to send a mailer to them, you're going to, for your absentee owners, you probably don't have a lot. If you have 200 homes in a neighborhood, you probably only have about 5 to 20 absentee owners at most. I want you to create a CMA for each of them. So pick the property that's an absentee owner. In Remine, you can click on this button right here, CMA. Or we can create a Toolkit CMA. I like Toolkit CMA better, but I'm going to show you both really quickly. So click on CMA, Remine CMA. Here's the property. It's within, you have to know the size of the property, 4 bedrooms to 7 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms to 5, or 2 baths to 5 baths. So you can zero that in. Square footage, if you know the size of it, if this is a 3,000 square foot home, all of that information is on here. 5 beds, 3 baths, 3,300 square foot. So in here, I'm going to choose if I want 4 to 6 bedrooms, and I want 3 to 4 baths, and I want 2,700 to 3,500 square foot. And not worried about year built. They're all going to be the same. Not really worried about anything else. You can add and change whatever you want to get as specific as you want, depending on how many properties come up. And your building type is going to be single family. Status, we can do pending or sold. Closed on MLS. If you want a price range, because you don't want any, like if you're in an area where there's some low priced homes, what we're doing now is basically creating a CMA. So if there's just outside of your neighborhood, if you draw a map, if there's some $200,000 homes, but everything in your neighborhood is 400, you probably want to choose a price point like 300 minimum. That way you don't get some of the crappy homes in there to affect your neighborhood price. Then sold time frame 6 months, and distance, we can go out a half mile, whatever you're going to need, and then click search. This gave me, for properties like that, we've got five listings. That should be good enough. 280, 300, 380. If I just wanted to create a CMA from there, in the way, we can click save and continue. Then it brands to you, and then you'll have your little quick CMA, save and continue, and you can print it out. And then with that, you print it, and we can mail it to them or drop it off. If it's a absentee owner who lives in the state, in the neighborhood, which we would know because their mailing address is Fladgate Mark in Riverview, but their street address is Homebridge Lane in Riverview. So they receive mail in Fladgate Mark in South Fork, but this property that I'm doing the CMA for is in Panther Trace. If you don't want to mail it, just go drop it off on their doorstep. Buy some manila envelopes, the yellow envelopes. Stuff your CMA in it and bring it over there. The other thing that you probably want to do is create a letter for them. So you'll have this CMA, this Remine CMA, and if I print it, we'll see what it looks like. So where's page 1? This is why I don't like it so much, because there's a lot of numbers and a lot of crap on it. And then there's their property. And where does it tell me what my home is worth? Where does it say that? Here's one, here's another, that's why I just don't like it, but it's still not, it works for some people and it's quick and easy. What I would do is come here to Toolkit CMA in 21 Online, and they have a new thing called Quick Market Analysis. I would click Quick Market Analysis, do a create presentation. I'm going to go into Stellar MLS, and I already have Stellar MLS open. I know my property. All I'm going to do is a very, very quick CMA for 11414 Homebridge. In Riverview, and I just want sold properties. And we know that in this area, we know that we're 3,000 square foot approximately, 3,300 square foot. So criteria, maybe I want to include anything that's 2,800 square foot or more. It automatically limits me to the amount of properties that are there. I know that these are probably all somewhat decent comps. It's probably maybe a little high, maybe a little low, but this is really not about being extremely and totally accurate. This is about being able to provide something to them. So if you want to go through here and pull, there's a couple. These are all like 2-story homes that look kind of like that, just from what I know. I'm going to try and grab 5 of them just like I would with anything else. Say I got 5, and with the Toolkit CMA, you have to click print, broker full, print to PDF. And those instructions are right here in the MLS download guide. So this right here where it says MLS download guide, that's where those instructions are. Find your properties, click print to PDF. That's it. That's all you broker full, print to PDF. Okay. So it'll generate this, and there it is. And then now that I have this, I have to make sure it's on my computer because I need to upload it. So just bring it to a download folder. Brian D needs to. Oh, Brian, this is actually Brian saying I didn't send you the email. Just I appreciate you clarifying. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we'll get over to see here. You've picked your properties. Click print, the broker full, print to PDF, and choose file. Now that it's on my computer, it's under my downloads. This is the broker full 2644. And I'm going to upload that file. All right, select all of them and click next. Here's your range. If you don't think the range is correct, change it. Change it because it's going to have it's going to say a nice page full of this. So let's just say I want it to say at least 350. And I want it to go up to 387 because that sounds nice and cool. Create the presentation. This is a very, very basic presentation. And let's just. Okay. And this is what it looks like. Pricing your property to sell. It looks like your property is priced between 350 and 387. And here's some comparable properties that justify it. Nice and real base, but it's branded to you. Here's your name. Here's the other thing I would do. I would print these out. I would find every other absentee owner that's there because you probably only have about 10 to 20. Identify any of the other ones that are about the same size. Make sure that valuation associates to them. If you have 5 other ones, print 5 of these out. Use the same 5. There is no right or wrong answer. This is not specific to that property address. This doesn't have the property address listed anywhere. The other Toolkit CMAs are. This is one that you could print this out easily and now use it. Like I said, there's an agent using 1,500 square foot homes, creating a CMA market valuation just like this, and printing out how many 14 to 1,600 square foot homes are in my neighborhood, and prints out 30 of them or 50 of them, however many it is, prints out 50 of these. The other thing that we're doing now, because this is okay, but there's no cover letter. So what do I want? I want to have a nice cover letter. So let me go home. Let me create a presentation. And this is just going to be a random, I can use any of these. I'm just going to, let's just say a pre-listing presentation, because all I'm trying to create is the same branded letter and cover letter. So I'm going to do pre-listing, cover, and cover letter. And I'm going to get rid of everything else. And I'll click next. Let's see, this one is, now this is going to ask for the address too, but we can do this. You can do this one of two ways. We can put in an address. That's going to be the, like our office address, which will just mimic our office address on there. But here, name, said whatever, this is Panther Trace Neighbor. Enter the address. I'll just put the office address in it. And this will be the same. Neighbor. Next. I'm going to come back here. I have my, I have the letters that I want for the CMA for the absentee owners down here. Absentee owner letter. So I can just copy it. Get in here. Why did that split it up like that? That got moved around. But anyway, I would copy and paste this letter. Somehow it got moved around. I had this all in one box. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, I would copy and paste this letter into Toolkit CMA. So we'd have our absentee owner letter there. Dear neighbor, Panther Trace neighbor. And this is our office address. Click next. And now we just create presentation. And we have a nice cover page and cover letter. Just Panther Trace neighbor, that's fine. And view. Here is our relentless service plan prepared especially for Panther Trace neighbors for US Highway 41. It says the property address here, but this is our location there. If you have Adobe PDF editor, you can go in here and change that. You can just remove the address completely and save this. That's what I would just remove the address completely, save this. And now you can print this out. You can print 200 of these because you can just use this same letter and cover page for every CMA or flyer, mailer, or anything that you use for absentee owners. If you have 20 of them, it doesn't matter the size. You have a cover page and a cover letter that you'll attach to your CMA, your really quick CMA, and do that. Yes. For the quick CMA, I didn't pick anything because the quick CMA, hang on one second. For the one that I just did was a market valuation, and it doesn't ask for fields. So it's a brand new one. They just put it in here in the last week. This quick market analysis right here, this doesn't ask for fields. If you want to do a CMA only presentation, which is a little bit more, I have the fields for that. I'll send that to you as well. Yeah, this is very quick. Quick market analysis. You can print it out very quickly. Any questions about that? But you can print out a CMA. Find all of your absentee owners. You have homes that are 3,000, 3,200 square foot. Print a CMA out for all of those. Do a quick market analysis for all of those. Print a cover letter out. Go drop them off or mail them out. You probably don't have more than about 20 of them with 200 homes. So even if you're going to mail them and you're not doing mailers everywhere else, this probably is worth your time just to mail it and mail it out to them. If they're in the neighborhood, go knock on their door, go drop it off on their doorstep and follow up with them. Okay. As far as if you do farm with someone, how can you change letter and photos for both? You can edit the letter to say anything you want. As far as photos, I'm not positive how to change the photo because Toolkit CMA is branded to you as an individual agent. You would have to have Adobe PDF editor. If you have the Adobe PDF editor, just upload the PDF once it's created. Like I would come here and I have this Panther Trace. I would just click PDF. And now I have it as a PDF. I can open it in Adobe PDF editor. I can change the address. I can upload a new photo. I can add both names. I could add anything I want as a PDF editor. But once you do it once, you've got this. Just use this for all of your CMAs for absentee owners. Okay? That's one thing that you can do. Now, the CMA that you upload to Toolkit CMA is from MLS. You have to create that in MLS and upload it to 21 Online in Toolkit CMA. 21 Online has Toolkit CMA. Okay? So getting through your absentee owners, you probably don't have a lot. This should be pretty quick for you to get through all of the absentee owners. If they're in state and in the neighborhood, drop it off on their doorstep. Toolkit, see, how do you print and size the letter? That's what I just showed you how to do. You go through and create a presentation, just do a listing presentation or CMA only presentation. It doesn't matter which presentation is, just choose presentation, and all you're going to select is cover page and cover letter. Now, Remine, the yellow letters with red, those are Remine. Those are completely different. That's the mailers that you can send out to your entire farm. And again, if you want to go through Remine and just send a letter to your absentee owners, that's fine too. We're just trying to get a little bit more strategic by sending them a CMA of their property with a letter that says, I'd love to help you out, rather than just dropping the letter. But you can do that too. I don't know about printing and sizing them correctly. That's going to be having to do with Rocket Print and Mail, not anything that I could control. Right, so that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is a little more fun. Yeah, because this isn't fun, right? It's Valentine's Day, right? Do something silly or stupid or fun and just create some postcards. Buy some cardstock, print them out here, print some flyers, go drop them on their door. Go on Pinterest. That's where all of this is. On Pinterest, it's something on here. As your neighborhood realtor, I have the expertise to optimally position your home for sale. Now is the perfect time. Call me with a little smarty. Forget me not when you think about buying or selling. Will you be mine? Will you be my next seller that I help maximize or put more money in their pocket? Something like that. Put a flyer together and go drop them off. Or continue doing the CMAs and put a letter like that because it's Valentine's Day on top and go drop them off in your neighborhood. So print some CMAs for, pick whatever you think is going to be the maximum amount of exposure for you. If you have a neighborhood of 200 homes and most of them are 2,000 square foot and you have, say, half of them are 1,900 to 2,100 square foot, print out 100 CMAs for 1,900 to 2,100 square foot that says your home is valued between 300 and 350,000 with a nice little, will you be mine? Will you be my next seller? I help put more money in their pocket than anybody else, or something silly like that with your information. Put that cover letter on it and go drop them off to every person in your neighborhood. Okay? Whatever you would like to do. I can't tell you what to do. I can only give you ideas and tell you do this or do this. Pick one. Which would you like to do? Who will commit to doing something like that? And what will you do? Tell me your commitment. Margaret, what are you going to commit to? So you're going to mail some letters and drop a few off. How many? No try. How many are you going to do? Tell me how many you'll do. How many? You're going to do 200 mailers or drop-offs? Either one. Good job. I know you said you'll do mail some and drop some off. You'll do 100. Who else has a commitment that you're going to do? What are you going to commit to? Tell me. So we're going to get a quick market analysis to all of your absentee owners, whether it's a drop-off or a mailer. Excellent. Good. Who else will commit to something? What's that? What mailers? You're going to do your first touch mailers to your entire neighborhood through Rocket Print and Mail or handwriting, printed something out. Okay, excellent. Who's going to do the Valentine's Day, something silly or cute Valentine's Day? How many CMAs are you going to print out and attach a letter like that or a flyer like that on top of it? Yeah, I know you already did it. The overachiever. Oh my goodness, I already did it. Well, she's someone who also has been mailing to her specific farm, for the past like 2.5, 3 years, religiously, and then also added another one in just to help out and make sure she's getting some maximum exposure in Apollo Beach, where her office is. Okay, Jen, what are you going to do? The CMAs you did? Excellent. Attach a nice little Valentine's Day. Pinterest has them. Google it. I can send you some of these. We can create a flyer. Business Builder probably has something as well. I'm sorry I didn't check on that, but we can probably print something out there. CMA to all absentee owners and Valentine's Day. Excellent. So absentee owners, we want to touch all of our absentee owners with a CMA and a letter, or a CMA, a letter, and a Valentine's Day thing, or we're going to do a CMA with a Valentine's Day business or a Valentine's Day flyer cover sheet to wherever you get the most exposure for one specific size or style of home in your farm. Okay. Who else? Who else has a commitment you're going to do? Anybody? Chat online. What else are you going to do? Tell me. A video every week. Okay. So you're going to commit to doing a video every week? Great. So you're going to do nothing that I asked you to do. I appreciate that. Thank you. I know you're already doing other stuff. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. That's just, you're adding it on. Anyway, anybody else want to share what you're going to do? Good. So we've got about 6 or 7 commitments out of 15, 18, 21, 20, out of 27. Tell me. Yep. So you've got a Valentine's Day flyer and a box of sweeties and a nice little note and message that you're dropping off on all of the doorsteps of everybody in your farm. Perfect. That's what this is about, making a commitment to doing it, following through with it, and seeing everybody in this room and online saying they're going to do something, whether it's that or something else, something I gave you to do, and doing that. Yes, ma'am. Oh, overachiever. So you did the farming and the video. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yep. So she created a video, putting it into the group, and then trying to make sure that everybody in that neighborhood sees the video that she did. They sent out some mailers. They're doing sent some CMAs, and they're doing that too. So again, we have about 8 out of 27 people have made a commitment. So I'd really love to see, if you can, send me an email if you didn't chat it in. What is your commitment this week, and what will you do? Good, Jessica.